recursive of the maxilla. Intraoral view, he has the gluttony molar on both sides and gluttony canine on both sides, but on the right side it is more significant than in the left side. Anterior cross-by and posterior cross-by on the right side and on the left side, and on the right side he has end-to-end buccal occlusion. Slight grounding both arch, but in the lower arch you can notice the posterior teeth in the lower arch. You can see they all lingually inclined. So all of them are the sign of very narrow maxilla and wide mandible. In CBCD, the U-bend index is a minor 5 millimeters, so it indicates that skeletally narrow maxilla. On cephalometric, Sonza's gluttony skeletal with A and B is minus 1.5 degree with recursive of the maxilla, and this patient have a slight open the mandible plane angle. With upper incisor is broken just a little bit, and a lower incisor broken also. On panoramic, there's nothing special except to delay to eruption of second molar on the upper, and he has two wisdom teeth. One is the first quarter and one is the third quarter. So, the treatment objective for this patient is to enhance the facial aesthetic with maxilla forward and mandible backward. To expand the upper arch, to gain the space and to achieve the arch coordination, and finish with glass 1 molar canine and finish with glass 1 molar and canine and not overbite and overset. So obviously, the treatment for this patient, first option definitely is orthodontic and orthognathic surgery. But the patient refused the treatment. So we choose the second option is orthopedic and orthognathic and orthodontic treatment. But I warn the patient that we might not get 100% of success, and the patient accepts that because he and his family don't like the surgery because it is too invasive and too expensive for the patient. For orthopedic and orthodontic treatment, of course, we will expand the upper arch, but because this time the patient passed the pubertal growth peak, so it is very difficult to use the conventional RPE. That's why we use the mini implant assisted palatal expansion. And we project the maxilla forward by face mask and intermaxillary elastic with 6 hours and 3 16-inch. And we combine with recheck total lower arch with mini implant support. Many form transverse discrepancy correction. There are many articles on the efficacy of mini implant assisted palatal expansion, and they all concluded that this appliance is effectively opens the mid palatal and also the circummaxillary suture with the minimum dental tipping, and it also displays the zygomatic maxillary complex And it causes a forward and downward movement of endpoint. All of them facilitate us to project the muscle forward, especially in glutatory non-occlusion. For anteroposterior discrepancy correction in late puberty or young adult patient, we have three options. First, camouflage. Second, maxillary advancement with bone angle maxillary projection, or we call MAN. And the third option is orthodontic and automatic surgery when the patient finishes growing. However, most of patients deny the surgery, so we only have camouflage or maxillary advancement with bone angle maxillary projection. For camouflage, we can do extraction, we can do mandibular distalization with that or nail technique. However, I myself, I prefer that over nail because it is more friendly patient and it is less irritation of soft tissue, especially when the patient has a very narrow vestibular. And glutatory elastic. For muscular advancement with bone angle muscular projection, we can use either intermaxillary elastic or we can use FASMAP to shove the muscle forward. Those options are improved is their effectiveness of treatment through so many articles. The question is, in some cases, if we use either camouflage or maxillary projection, it is not enough to fit our case. So why not we combine two measures together? This is my thought. And now we come back to this case. That's why I applied to this case, and this case I use the MSE to expand the upper arch and concurrent with the FASMAP projection at night time and intermaxillary at school time. In the upper arch, you can see in the upper arch you can see we put 2 mini implants in the upper between 5, 6 and lower between 3 and 4 in order to run elastic to project the muscular at daytime. This is 2 months after MAP and FASMAP. You can see gradually change the relationship of muscular and mandible. On CBCT, so that we truly expand the skeletal. This is when we finish FASMAP projection, and you see that we gradually get better relationship of the molar and canine on both sides. However, in the right side, it is bigger than it is more different. It is more than in the left side. But from this step, the patient continue to wear intermaxillary elastic, and from this step we bond the lower. Because we finish FASMAP projection, so is it we run elastic from mini-bit on the upper to the lower canine in order to distalize the lower arch. And this is the 9 months after treatment and 3 months after bonding. You can see that we get class 1 molar and canine on the left side and slight glutatory on the right side. Big change after that time of his face and his profile. And it is 18 months. At 18 months, we have a solid class 1 molar and canine on both sides and normal over back and over that. You can see we have no discrepancy in the posterior region. And this is a finished treatment after 28 months. So we have good coordination of both arms. How about his profile? It's good, it's better than before. Yes, the patients are very lucky, and very happy with the result. Comparison between before and after, you can see the big improvement of his profile and his fat. And his fat is becomes symmetry. The menorah on the set, you can see the improvement of A and B. It is from minus 1.5 to 1.3 degree, and the A degree from 78 to 80 degree. Superimposition before and after, you can see the muscular display forward and downward. The mandible have a counterclockwise, have a clockwise rotation of the mandible with the visualization of the motor and rejection of the incisor. Because this patient, when he finished the treatment, he's already over 16 years old. So I'm afraid that the mandible is still growing. That's why in retention phase, asking other patient to wear intermuscular elastic. Here you can see again on the button. So you can see that it is very stable. With this reason, it is very stable reason. Yeah, this is the image at 16 months after retention. Another case, the boy, 13 years old, however, he passed his pubertal growth 1 year ago. And when he came with us, he has the chief complaint of anterior crossbar. And you can see this patient has the asymmetry face, which is off to the right side. He has the concave profile, recursive muscular and slight protrusive mandible. Intraoral view, he has the 3 molar and canine on both sides. But in the right side, it is more severe than in the left side. The upper midline is 2 mm off to the left side, and lower midline is 2 mm off to the right side. Anterior crossbar and posterior crossbar on both sides. So definitely very narrow muscular. And both arms are crowding. Frontal shape, you can see the midline discrepancy on upper and lower, but not too much. Shape so that skeletal calantry with A and B is minus 2.5 and NNA is 69. So reduces the muscular and protrusive mandible. He has in panoramic, there's nothing abnormal except for wisdom, but and of course they was extracted before treatment. On CBCT, it shows that the U-bend index is minus 7.8 mm, so very narrow upper arch. So the treatment objective for this patient, of course, to enhance facial aesthetic with muscular forward and mandible backward, with expand upper arch and get good coordination of both arms with glass 1 molar and canine. So the treatment option for the patient first is orthodontic and orthodontic surgery. However, this patient and the parent refused like the previous one. And the second option is orthopedic and orthodontic treatment. And of course, like the previous one, I'm not guaranteeing the successful of 100%, but I try. This is after finishing expansion with Marky. You can see the big change of relationship, of occlusion relationship between upper and lower arch, and also You can see very wide diastema in the upper. And from this time, the patient, I will bond for the patient, and the patient continue to wear intermaxillary elastic from lower canine to the first molar. Why in this case I don't put too many implants in the upper? Because you can see the maxillary molar are anchored to the bone through the mini screw. That's why I don't need mini screw anymore. But in the previous point, because when we do the when the technician saw the spring for project the face mask, the hook for project the face mask, they move the hook away on the first molar. That's why we have to put too many implants on the upper. But in this case, we don't need too many implants in the upper. After expansion, the U-band reduced to minus 1.4 millimeter, and it considers normal, and we can compromise by length movement. And here is the 5 months after the treatment. You can see the big improvement of occlusion relationship. Actually, in the right side, we have a plateau canine and big improvement of his face. And it is 7 months after the treatment. You can see the big. We can get the class 1 molar and canine, and we get a good coordination, a good arch. Yeah, nearly finished. And here it's 20 months. We deborn. In this case, so when we finish this case, you can see that we have very good interdissertation of good arch with the normal inclination of upper and lower incisor, and no posterior crossbite. How about his face? The big change. And this patient are very happy with his result. So the patient is right. Is it? Comparison before and after. Profile change. His face more symmetry and very nice smile. Here's panoramic, and here is set. On his set, even though the A and B is still a minus 0.5 degree, but it improves many. Superimposition of cephalometric before and after, and you can see the upper arch move forward and downward, and lower arch backward and downwards. And the molar was distalized. So the change during the before treatment and during the treatment and finish, you can see the big change of occlusion. With very simple technique, because I like simple. As the last case, just a little bit different with 2 boys. This female, this girl is 15 years old, and she passed menopause 2 years ago. When she came to us, she complained about her asymmetric face, and from the first glance, all of our doctors here will say that must be surgery. But this person denied surgery because she lived in the province, and he and she and her family cannot support, cannot afford the financial for surgery. That's why the parents asked me to do as much as possible for her. This patient, you can see very asymmetric face with chin deviate to the right side, straight profile, and retroceive the muscle. Class 3 molar on both sides. Class 3 molar on both sides and class 3 canine on the left side. Anterior crossbar and posterior crossbar on the right side. And on the left side, it's minimum overset of posterior segment. Severe crowding on the upper and slight crowding on the lower. On cephalometric, shows that very severe skeletal class 3 with ANB is minus 4 degrees due to recursive muscular. On OBZ, she has 4 back wisdom tooth, and if you can see clearly, she has very severely damage of the second molar here, and it is indicated extraction. Then we can allow the third molar to replace the second molar, and we can create the space to distaline the lower arch. Yes, the CBCT you can see very asymmetry of the lower arch. And just like the midline deviation on the upper arch. The bend index is minus 6 mm, so confirms a very narrow upper. So the treatment objective for this patient, like the other 2 point, enhance facial aesthetic and muscle forward and shift the mandible to the left side to have asymmetry of the face, to expand the upper arch and to achieve class 1 molar and canine and normal overbite object. And of course, because this patient refused surgery, so we have nothing to do than orthodontic and orthopedic treatment for this patient. We can do as much as we can. Luckily for us, after expansion, you can see the dramatic change of occlusion here. You can see the dramatic change of occlusion here without any intermuscular elastic. Why? It might be when we expand the upper arch, it can eliminate the occlusion interference, so it allows the mandible to move to the comfortable position. That's why we get this result. We bond both arch and do alignment and leveling. Keep continuing and finish. After all, we finish this case with class 1 molar and canine, even though it is not perfect result, but it's acceptable, right? Her face improved so much, even though we still have deviation of the lower chin to the right side, but without surgery, I checking that it is acceptable result. And the patients are very happy. Comparison before and after, you can see the big improvement of her face, of her aesthetic. On the step, even though she still have a class 3 skeletal, but it is not severe. It reduced from minus 4.9 to minus 0.82. So I just think that it is good treatment. And but here you can see the upper incisor is broken because we cannot do anything more for this person without surgery. It is very difficult, so we accept.
Tại vì chúng ta phải chấp nhận cái quả điều trị này vì bệnh nhân không lựa chọn phẫu thuật.
The change of her dentition before and after.
Các thay đổi của bộ răng bệnh nhân trước và sau.
So, in conclusion,
Kết luận,
although class 3 malocclusion are very difficult and complicated to
rất
treat,
là khó và rất là phức
but
tạp.
if we choose the right option for the patient, I just think that the patient will have good result of the
Thì
treatment.
chọn cái lựa chọn
And
trị đúng cho bệnh nhân.
The
có được kết
problem
quả.
is when the patient, when the orthodontic
Vấn đề là
have
các
a
bác sĩ chỉ nghe
patient with the glottal malocclusion, they often pay attention only to AP dimension, not pay attention to the other dimension, even though in some cases with very good buccal occlusion, but it is the dental compromise.
bệnh nhân đã có cái
It not
rất nhiều
reveals the true skeletal relationship. So
đã được buộc đường.
I can say that the transfer discrepancy management is not negligible in the treatment plan. And the second thing is mini implant assisted expansion concurrent with growth with maxillary projection are very effective tool to project the maxilla. Even when the patient passes their pivotal growth.
hỗ trợ.
And we should combination of muscle projection and mandible distalization
Kết hợp cái
to
sự hỗ trợ
fix
về
the skeletal glottal malocclusion in some selected severe cases. Thank you so much for attention.